Welcome back to JB Reviews. Unfortunately, this is the last camping trip of the season. Today is November 3rd, 2019. Today is daylight saving time. And as you see, I'm sitting in my RV. So today, I want to show you guys the newer system with the Keystone Cougars. And just kind of like how I winterize it. I did winterize it last year by myself. I had the dealership show me, but then we went on a trip down to Florida. And then before we came back up, I did do it myself. So be sure, if you are buying an RV, have the RV dealership do it for you the first time. That's just my opinion. If you own RVs before in the past, obviously you don't really have to because you know how to do it. But I always recommend, if you're new to a brand, just have them show you some things, because some things actually stuck out to me that they did that I probably wouldn't have done. So let's go and get started. Okay guys, so what I normally do to winterize my RV is I always run air through my system. I believe that you only can go up to about 40 psi's to be safe. A lot of places do say 35, but I feel like 35 is just not enough for my system. I go up to about 40. I've had no problems. If I do have any problems, I'll be sure to do a follow-up video with that. But for now, I use this little mechanism here. Now, I did get this from Air. I strongly recommend you do not buy this. Build this yourself. All these parts you can get from a Home Depot, Lowe's, and you can actually build it just a little bit cheaper than this. This does not work well. I find that I have to play with it and kind of fine tune it. That way it doesn't hold back the PSIs too much, because this little gauge here is just never accurate. So sometimes it'll show 75 PSIs, but I know it's not really pushing out that much. It's just off. And of course, to hook up to your water, this is something that you'll need. So this will hook up to this system here, like so. And then it'll push air out. But if you don't want to use air, because some people don't like it because you can get oil in the lines, whatever the case may be, you can blow out your lines and have repairs, you could just run the pink stuff, which is this RV antifreeze. So make sure if you're going to do this, you have to get this type of antifreeze. You cannot use car antifreeze or anything like that. But if you want to do it this way, you're just gonna have to use a lot of this stuff, in my opinion. Probably, I would say at least 4 gallons you have to run through the system, because you really want to make sure you get that water out. And you do have some low hanging points below the RV. I'll be sure to show that to you in the video. And then I'll just show you guys how easy it is to winterize these newer trailers, because it already has a system built on it. And yeah, it's just really easy to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the points in my RV where I have to make sure to get winterized. For our last camping trip, we did not have any water for this trip, so we used the facilities here at Cherry Hill Campground. That's where we are right now. And as you see, I have the water on, but nothing's of course coming out. I did blow out the lines, so a little bit of water is still kind of in there. But what you want to do is, once you get the pink stuff through the system, I'm going to basically use the water pump on the RV for this. You'll see it, you'll hear it, and what will happen is, you know, the pink RV antifreeze is going to start coming out of the system. And once I see that it's pink on the hot and cold side, then I'll pour some of the pink down into the traps here, into the sink. That way, you know, even your piping doesn't, you know, freeze over. Let me just show you guys real quick what the degrees is inside the RV too. So the rear is 67 degrees and the front's actually 67 degrees. So just so you guys know, I'm only running this little space heater, and I have our fireplace on too. And it's probably about 45 degrees outside. I mean, the sun is not really shining on the RV right now. It's about probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're actually in a lot of shade. It is pretty doable to camp in the wintertime. I did have the furnace on at night. I put it down to about 65 degrees. I figured if it gets, you know, below that, that might be too cold. I'll be honest with you, 65 degrees last night was really cold. I'll probably do at 68 or 69, but I only had this heater on last night. I should have kept the fireplace on too. So going into the bathroom, now you have to do the same thing in here. So you want to run pink stuff on the hot and cold side for the shower, and you also want to do it for the sink. And again, you want to pour some of it down the drain in those P-traps too. Now here's a nice suggestion I'll give you. When you start pushing this pink stuff through the system, it's going to splatter. So what I recommend you do when you're going to put it through the shower head, put it over the sink and do this one first. That way you don't have to get this all messy, because once you have to get this messy, you have to clean it out. So it just kind of reduces, you know, cleanup. And then you can just pour it down that drain there really easily. Hot and cold sides. Last but not least, I've already done this. I have to run pink, you know, through here. And then I just put this pink in here just because it got below 30 degrees one night. And I just wanted to protect this. I didn't want it to freeze over. But that's pretty much it. It's really easy. And there's one more place I almost forgot. This will be the last place that you'll run the pink antifreeze through, which is through this outside shower. And as you saw inside, I had the pump. The pump is going to be used for the city water and for the black tank flush. I have to pump pink through these two systems here. And then that's pretty much it, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. It's really easy to do. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the low point drain, which is right below here. Do not over tighten these, guys. If you over tighten these, they are hard to get off. Trust me when I say that. So as you see, I must not have done a good job pushing this water out because there's still a little bit of water coming out. But there you go. Now I'm going to pump a little bit of antifreeze through just so I can get any excess water out here. So I'm going to leave these open for about 5 seconds. I'm going to let the pink stuff come through, and then I'm going to turn off the water pump. I'm going to show all this to you here in a second. Trust me, it's pretty easy once you see it happening. I'm going to show you why I love the in-command system here in a second. What I'm going to do is, on the in-command system, you can basically turn on your water pump while you do this. So watch. Don't know if you can hear that, but that's my water pump. So the piece I had on that manual pump, that blue pump here, I'm going to use that for the winterization. So what you have to do is you want to bypass your hot water heater. If you're not sure why you have to do that, do it one time. You'll probably go through every gallon of pink antifreeze you have, and you'll figure out why you're supposed to do that. And then you want to have Winterize on too. So I have Winterize on, and then I have the water heater bypass on. So as I mentioned, why I love the in-command system so much is because watch this. Check that out. If I need to stop it, I can do it out here like that. If I needed to start it again, I can just hit the button. That's kind of why I had to have the in-command system. I really love how easy it is to use this system. And you can do this by yourself. Now, because I have a camera in my hand, I have my wife out here helping me. So it makes it just a little bit easier. So now this is going to run through the system. It's basically the water pump pressurizing the this RV antifreeze. All right, that should be good there. Let's go inside and see how much pink stuff we have in there to put through the system. So currently I have the pump in the black tank flush, and all I'm going to do now is just pump it. I wish there was like something like electrical that you can do, because this is a pain. Now I have the hot and colds pretty much done. As you see, pink, pink. I have all this pretty much coming out pink on hot and cold. I have the toilet, and the only thing I didn't talk about, hold on, let me turn off my water pump because the bottle's empty out there. The only thing I didn't talk to you guys about was this system. Now I am going to catch it with a bucket, but I winterized this system last year. We've never used it. So my opinion is You don't really have to winterize this twice, but I'll run some antifreeze through it just to make sure water doesn't sit inside the piping. If the system gets pressurized from the city water, maybe a little bit of water gets there, but I don't really think so. I'm not a plumber, so I'm not sure how that works. But for your inconvenience and for your RV, maybe just run pink stuff through there. Now you can remove this, obviously, and that'll make life a lot easier for you, so just keep that in mind. But overall, like I said, it's pretty easy to do. Having the in-command system really allows you to do it by yourself. Strongly recommend, if you are in the market for an RV, put that on your list of things that you want.